one of you, and good morning to our fellow participants in the session today and the organizers.
Morning,
It's
sir.
a privilege to have been a part of this evaluation presentation session, and wherein I got an opportunity to present the initiatives being taken by AP Police for welfare of the police families. As Mr. Sridhar Rao, the additional DG welfare, has already taken up an important aspect which deals with the well-being status, ensuring the safety and well-being of the police families. So I'm here to take up the matter on a different footing where. So we have taken a 78,000 police personnel working in various wings, and most of whom were working in the field as frontline warriors. A range of welfare initiatives brought together and then put into a single system, and then to ensure the family, to ensure the safety and well-being of the police personnel without giving any scope for compromising on the performance aspects. So during the onset of this COVID this year, so as already started, highlighted by Mr. Sridhar Rao, so March and April was a crucial period when this lockdown started, and the police came to the field to enforce the lockdown, and then a number of police personnel were almost spending days together, maybe weeks together, leaving their families behind and then working in the field, daily getting exposure to the public during the discharge of their duties. And some of them started contracting the COVID infections. And then that was the stage when nobody had an idea as to what should be done to avoid. What should be done to avoid getting contracted at the same time with performing well in the field. So for all, a pandemic experience was experienced for the first time, police being in the front line, and then they were getting exposed thoroughly, day in and day out, and a lot of messages coming from social media. Then were in the air. They started frightening the people, and psychological stress also was impacting the physical and mental health of the police personnel. And then prior to that, and we added to this, a lot of personnel who had already pre-existing comorbidities, they started feeling scared with the messages coming from the social media. So something was needed seriously to answer all these issues and see that performance is not compromised at the cost of this. Performance is not compromised because of these fears and psychological stress. So, keeping this in view, so a comprehensive action plan was thought of at the headquarters level under the leadership of our DGP Sri Gautam Sawang sir, and then we evolved some actionable points for a holistic approach to ensure safety and well-being of the police at large. For the first thing was, first concern was to dispel these myths and fears. And then second was proactively addressing the health concerns of police personnel affected by various ailments. Already they were having these things. And then second, these two things we were trying to do before anyone got into this virus infection and all. And once the virus started infecting, then we started doing this exercise like close monitoring and tracking of health status at various stages, right from this day on which they test positive and till the complete recovery is made. And then subsequently, after discharge also, we started taking care of the health. And then ultimately we're bringing them back to the normalcy and the normal core of duties. So these four were the objectives behind which a strategy was formulated, and then we started working on this strategy. So as I said already, the dispelling fears about the pandemic by keeping support systems in place and making them work effectively was the idea, and then reaching out to the personal and families and helping them overcome the challenges. Next. So the processes followed mainly were, the first one is sensitization of the force. And then second was urgent medical attention and timely assistance. And the comprehensive health survey and identification of the vulnerable. Then constant monitoring of the personnel with comorbidities and those who tested positive. Then medicines and material assistance to those tested positive throughout their treatment. Then finally, online sessions for helping them to get speedy recovery. So sensitization of the force online have been carried out through various, with the help of various agencies. And then, so we have a system of unit welfare officers. So Mr. Sridhara was mentioning about the family welfare desk. In addition to that welfare desk, we have evolved a system called unit welfare officers. Each unit officer was made to identify one officer dedicatedly for taking care of all these aspects, covering the COVID starting from the day they test positive till the end of the till they come back to normalcy. And then a comprehensive health survey and identification of the vulnerable. A comprehensive health survey was undertaken. With the help of experts, they have designed a questionnaire and all. And then based on this, live answers were extracted from the reports. And then we analyzed this data and identified the vulnerable. And then we started based on the identification we have made in respect of the personnel suffering from various comorbidities. Then we started monitoring their health status. And then anyone testing positive, again, we followed it up with all kinds of assistance. And then, as I said, online sessions have been carried through until they become normal and come back to the duties. These are the main processes we have involved. Next. So I was mentioning about the survey. A questionnaire has been designed to elicit vital information on the health status, the current health status with respect to each and every member of the force. So we collected answers from 78,000 folks, including our ministerial staff. And then, so we analyzed these answers and then identified the personnel based on the spot reporting they did. And then identified the risk factors among them. And then what we have grouped them into different categories. And then we shortlisted those people who urgently needed attention, and we started tracking their health aspects. The next. So innovative aspects of the entire solution we found here is, first thing, identification of the vulnerable, and second one is providing them around the clock counseling and telemedicine. And then this close monitoring of the health status, as I just said, and timely assistance as enumerated by Mr. Sridhar. And then this was followed up by a follow-up action till the complete recovery. So these are the innovative aspects of the program. Next. The practices we followed. The practices we followed are, as I said, the first part is sensitization. Sensitization we carried out through a series of webinars organized in collaboration with various esteemed agencies like UNICEF, then AIMS, and then the Apollo hospitals, Chennai and Hyderabad. And then we conducted virtually a training to all the police personnel how to work and still remain unaffected, and then how to help their families and also the people in the neighborhood to come out of this COVID without any problems. And then this was sustained. Initial webinars undertaken at the district headquarters have been carried through at the level of units also by unit officers, means SPs and CPs also have carried the sessions forward in their respective jurisdictions as a form of action. And then, as Mr. Sridhar said, the telecounseling of telemedicine has been organized from not only from the voluntary organization, but also from our unit medical officers. We have 30 police hospitals in the state. So all these 30 police hospitals have our qualified doctors of civil assistant surgeon ranks. And they have been earlier providing primary health care to the police personnel and their families. Now we have brought them into the loop to help all this police personnel to come out of the COVID safe and secure. So every day our NGOs, every day our unit medical officers were conducting Zoom conferences with all those people we have identified with the help of the comprehensive health survey. And then this, in addition to that comprehensive health survey, we have called a flagship program called Arogya Bhadrata. Under this Arogya Bhadrata, so we have been providing cashless treatment, and we have a list of people who already underwent treatment for various comorbidities and then took treatment. So we have utilized that record and collated that record and integrated it with the current status as collected through this health survey. And then we further analyzed and we brought them down to, we shortlisted those people. And then we started holding Zoom conferences with the help of our unit medical officers at unit level, at district levels. And then once a report comes that a person has tested positive, then immediately he is brought into a WhatsApp group. And then all such people are being interacted by the unit medical officers and the unit welfare officers, especially designated for the purpose by the each unit officer. And any message coming from, any alert message coming from any person who tested positive is immediately attended to. Then UMOs will immediately assess the gravity of the complaints made by these police personnel, and then immediately ask SPs to come into action. The SPs have their own system, like they have evolved task forces, especially to help those people who tested positive and who need urgent medical care. Then we started following up for those in isolation, quarantine, CCCs, COVID care centers. Some people were getting admitted, some people were getting admitted in quarantines, and some in isolation. So all these persons were being monitored. The health status of all these personnel was being monitored through Zoom conferences by unit medical officers. Then anyone getting shifted to a COVID hospital for treatment, needing some sustained treatment, then treatment protocols we were getting by appointing our nodal officers, and then treatment protocols are being studied by our unit medical officers, and wherever required we were enlisting the cooperation from the panel of doctors roped in to help us in the helplines. And then we were assessing from our side also, and then supporting the care being given by the treating doctors in the respective hospitals. And then we started suggesting from our side also any requirements we were supporting. And then wherever there was a need, wherever there is a need felt for shifting to a higher center also, we were helping them without minding whether the higher center is from a government establishment or from a private establishment. And wherever a requirement of financial assistance was there, we have welfare funds from the Bhadrata accounts, and then we started extending interest-free loans from these funds available without minding how much it is. And then we were providing support for treating those personnel in a higher center. And wherever a person is shifted to a higher center falling in the category of private hospitals, we were earmarking one officer exclusively to take care of the health of that particular gentleman in that hospital. and then you're getting information. The treatment protocol, collection of treatment protocols was being sustainedly carried out by the unit medical officers, and unit officers were getting this information continuously. Then wherever we procured from our own funds the costly medicines like remdesivir and then tocilizumab and then Fabiflu and all, so we kept it the nodal points across the state. We have identified a stock of these medicines for every 3-4 districts, grouped at one place, and then we were providing these medicines wherever there was a shortage of supply, and then wherever the doctors were pleading helplessness due to shortage of medicines. And then till the date a person is discharged, so we were following up these treatment protocols, and then once discharged, we started monitoring their health in their own homes. And then through online yoga and meditation sessions, we were trying to conduct the breathing exercises and helping them in getting fast recovery. And then supply of nutritious foods and vitamin supplements, it was done like a mission mode, and each unit officer was providing kits for boosting the health, and also providing all nutritious supplements and foods, and everything was being provided to the person who has gone to home care soon after the discharge. These practices were being monitored at the headquarters from DGP's wing here, and then we have a COVID care control center here in Mangalagiri, DGP's office, and then a similar COVID control available in the district units also. And then all these COVID care centers in the districts were monitoring the activities of the unit medical officers and unit welfare officers, and then were reporting to the headquarters, and then headquarters was monitoring on a regular basis. This sustained follow-up has helped us save many lives. Notwithstanding the cost involved, our people were getting very good treatment across the state, not only across the state in different good hospitals, but also outside the state, places like Bangalore, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, Hyderabad and all. Now we have sent our personnel for treatment, and then most of them.
Mr. Krishna, sorry for interruption, but you have 2 minutes left, so kindly conclude.
Yeah. So health. Sorry, sir, I'm just concluding, sir. The benefits realized is health awareness increased in the minds of the personnel, round-the-clock helpline assistance and close monitoring. Next, close monitoring and timely assistance saved many lives. And then police are working free of stress now, and a great measure of confidence is built up into their minds, and performance levels also have improved. Nothing is compromised, and in fact, our people have started working more rigorously and more confidently, and the leadership is appreciated by rank and file, sir. Next. So these are the photographs indicating our launching of our helplines. Then next. So the webinar is conducted by us. So these are the things, sir. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sharma ji, you might like to ask something.
Sir, I would like to know what, in percentage terms, how many police personnel got infected during for this COVID in your state?
Compromised people were day in and day out working in the field. About 11,000 people got affected, sir. 11,500 people got infected. That is a picture, sir. But fatalities were only less than 75 like that.
And there may be many more even still nowadays.
So only out of these 11,000, sir, 8,000 got discharged, and then 3,000 are active, but still in home quarantine, most of them.
Okay, and those who have been treated well, discharged from the hospitals, what is the quality of their life now? Any feedback?
So we have been following up, sir. Actually, those people who crossed 50 to 55 years and all, once they got discharged, so the doctors were sensitizing us about a possible side effect subsequently. So taking care of those possible side effects. So then we evolved a protocol at the level of our unit medical officers. As part of this work of monitoring, so we were assessing the condition of the people in home isolation after discharge. Then finding out what exactly is the present status of health now, and any sideways, any side effects like the kidneys, any discomfort in any part of the body other than this COVID. If it is noticed, immediately they're bringing to the notice of our unit officers, and unit officers are immediately pressing into action their concerned treating doctors, and then trying to help them out, finding out actual real cause of those things and how to go about it. In fact, about 6 to 7 cases I remember have been brought back to hospital suspecting some complication, but all of them have been put in the close observation, and then all of them have successfully gone back, sir.
Because it will affect their performance in next few years also. Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir. Performance needs to be there only. We have to keep the systems in place, and we have to keep following it up till
Yes.
sure that they are comfortable.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Systems now we have to carry them forward to follow it in a sustainable manner. So AP Police has been known for all this doing all these things, sir. So quality healthcare is our motto. We'll carry forward this torch and we'll ensure that the police remain in a state of safety and well-being. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mr. Krishna, the kind of infection rate amongst policemen in Andhra Pradesh would be comparable to other states and other police establishments, or is it less, or is it more? Can you please educate us on this?
Sir, I think it is not appropriate to compare the position with other states, sir, because as already highlighted by our Honorable CM, and AP stands first in the entire country with respect to the number of tests carried out and the number of cases where recoveries have been ensured. So our unit officers were systematically and regularly almost identifying the people with symptoms and getting them tested, and then immediately taking them to a hospital immediately for 2 days, and then ensure that the symptoms do not have anything to do with COVID. Then only they were releasing them. Otherwise, they were being kept in hospitals. So this is a kind of follow-up our SPs have been making. So why we are doing all this is to ensure that even the smallest chance we didn't want to leave. The very fact that so many people have been tested, and then shows that almost there is likelihood, because no duty has been compromised. Our Special Enforcement Bureau, then our police, regular police functions have been completely on, and then everyone was doing his best, and out in the field everyone was moving. So we cannot escape from the fact that getting such a serious exposure and working in the field without getting contracted by virus, we cannot visualize the situation. So, but in spite of having got so many infections, so many cases, so our mortality rate has been very low, and then recoveries have been very high, and then our morale of the people has been very high, personally.
Okay. So basically, your presentation was about COVID management during the lockdown, and this is not something which is an ongoing thing, or which is something which was there earlier also and will continue. Am I correct?
Because we have been focusing on COVID, I have mentioned here, sir. But otherwise, quality health care we have been ensuring through a flagship program called Arogya Bhadrata. Health concerns have been the prime concern for police, AP police, since long. Sir. So we have a cashless treatment scheme for police department. We spend about 35 to 40 crores every month, every year on our police personnel. Sir. So these is not the first time we are doing all this, but systems have been there. We have put all systems together and formulated an integrated strategy to take care of our people. Sir. Arogya Bhadrata has been doing very well, and the information has been taken by several states as an example to follow, sir. So that we have extended to formulate this scheme.
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Krishna. It was a great presentation by you. So for the next presentation, I'd like to call Dr. Vidya, Deputy Director of Health for the project COVID-19 Jagrata Portal from Directorate of Health Services, Kerala. I request Dr. Vidya to present the project. Thank you.
Good morning, respected jury and respected participants. I'm Dr. Vidya, Deputy Director Health Service from Government of Kerala. I'll share my screen.